the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Abusafo ene yebo akwakopie mu ewo court. Na ubokopie mu ewo court a the office of the special prosecutor onumunyamfo kisi ejaben asan akwakopie mu ewo court ho. Na in fact ene drama de ebi akohopa. Ye nyine kaya Mustafa Hamid NPA CEO ene 9 others bi ejina court na chese wonum a battle for wonum a life. Ene saying it is alleged say enipa teni a transfer a vast sum in both local and foreign currencies from bulk oil transporters and oil marketing companies while operating under guise of performing their official duties. Na yenye ni twa sa enipa teni the accused persons enipa teni na yenye ni twa charges OSP kisia jaben de ato omo so dada no 25 na yehwe senka OSP kisia jaben ebetimi ahwe na kiaye na ere pepepe ato babia ewo se da enne kisi ajabe sa be piemu ewo court a wo se charges 25 no ebi asan ababeka ho na ene no kwe according to a reporter no chese kisi ajabe ko bie document ni mu a enye mebrebe ade ya wasan increase charges no from 25 to 54. That is a drama pan and a course so ewo courtroom ho. Na in fact the reporter ne din kiremu emai no na chese de bia asefem kakra eno na ne lawyers ni bi say we are back to square zero. OSP kisi ajaben asan aka no ho bio oba be delay oman no na wasan ayusu oman na japade wa bra ibe wi ase yentimi hu nipa a wabo oman no kro no nam kwan boni bi so abo oman no ekro no bia. In fact ene OSP kisi ajaben ekopie mu ewo courtroom ho no na enye adeketwa onimonyamfo Mustafa Hamid NPA CEO any 9 others omuso no lawyers ekokopie mu ho no na enya grokra because obi a lawyer entwe ema no because as a charges no all the for SN beka ho na we be film now the for SN beka ho yentie ensema ye report the MIA
Office of the Special Prosecutor ya wo boko adu de etia wo mo a wo de dream ayebone wo memo no na wane kane Chief Executive Officer Edema National Petroleum Authority NPA Dr. Mustafa Abdulhamid ene nipa besa nkrumbia kano no mo asem wabo mo kwa dubesa aduonu enumbi ya no asem kra ne enkansieye na afedie OSP kyerese adanse ne biasa abeka wonti kane no yapam dada amase sa pam foforo na wade bakwa dubonu mu Nzesiano free 25 a 54 Dr. Mustafa Abdulhamid and the Sandy Pankron. That's a shemwa a yampimanim at 300%. Na quite good go almost one was say Sikaya say I threw on money laundering. Baby was a sikafa near the fat a punachi near the fakude ukuntu chese Sam and Yakob said 300 million. Ghana cedis no what say a bit papa na send paya what you call Drabo me Dr. Mustafa Abdulhamid ni danchanya yo Jacob Kwamna and one Wendy Newman Albert Ankra Azek Mensa Brat Bediako Mensa Kwaku Abuaje Akwa Afi ebinom so Promptness Limited and your company Car Logistics Limited and na Kings Energy Limited omu nyina enti ya court man so akwa kudru hono ama brako ampofo ama kwa bai wona wo gina tene kura ne se pa wasemi mu
oba ne kura ne se empanifo abobo omudi eye enipa mako enso companies ni ensa account ye beka se enipa edu enipa nkasa yenso na companies ni ensa account ye beka ye kan nyina aboma edu no afi eno ma be pin e wo call oba se de odi kan we e asem dada na e wo court da na e wo court ni fitian se na kwa edu ya de abo no e ye mako edu no enu 25 charges na ye di kan a charge won na no ne na ye nim se ye na ye kana na ye ka eno pay ye bedu ya Office of the Special Prosecutor eye onunyamfo kisi ajabe nchese ehwehwemu no ne guso e kosto na da no ka se wo mu se bedu baabi no bitimi aba se bedu baabi no be sa charges ne kakra no di biara be kan o fe na no pay kodu court chese kwa edu mako edu no enu 25 na odi abo enipa edu no ene emu apeja kakra emu apeja kodu hia opeja document no fine document adema kwa edu ne 25 akwa kodu 54 counts and as 54 charges and as I say about the top eja the dean of say the odi kan na omo boy nta pepepe kwa du no ebi eyese wo nyina kan wo ti bom say the omo kro no ebi and it's a conspiracy to commit crime to with money laundering ebi felon so wo di sika ho eja ebi so eja nankasa wo di ye no ebi ye kro no bo ebi say woman di omudibia ye di amount the public office no ebo Ghana for apple enti ya chichechemu obia ene ne djuma wo di ye na ofa o hwe kwadu ahoro na ye di abo ame no ka say afi ena court ne kwa bi sa account makoma 55 no enti ye bo odin a wo di e wo ne akan the amount ora Mustafa Hamid udi fa na so debim in money laundering meaning we pleading not guilty enti ye kan makoma 54 no bia de wo mu bia ye kan na ye do the amount ye kan na wo de ni wo ma na ye bisa udi fa na so debim of am no ka say e bra ni PA court dem afi ena ne ye take wo mu plea as to say omu nyina be pleading not guilty or guilty to all the offenses obia so any na lawyer for any buy offer and no dey afi and a court na kwa me PF court dem on na ye gusu take o mpi take plea ni wi a afi ye be kan fact sheet ni nyina kwa edu na ye dia bom no afi na ye be kire nyina so na nkata ye si echibrese ekotibrese uye udi sika huja sika we fi account we mu ekopi account we mu ni nyina ye be kan dia to afi ye wi a na lawyer for na afi court ne say omo wo bill afi ni be te bill conditions otimwa for no edibema mtofa that case ni de na earlier na ye 25 charges and a more pressure abedu 54 counter afi anyway take you plea ni better from the offer and ba be some afefo ni etefo ansana news ni ewie
yo na so ama ansana wo kɔ no se wo hwɛ se de ya hwɛ GTV ane Facebook NG 102.9 FM suya wotim se Dr. Mustafa Hamid nankasa no a asɛm no asɛn kase no a de bia wo ne bondi na asena foforo na ba no wo chiachia wo sere te sania adena mpusu no kura
ofa we happy ogaka situation ofa da no da me kai ka case ba court for say ya eya na enye hu akosi say ye be ye de friend case management conference CMC no no fa say ye be hu kwadu na ye dia pon no me ye hye Rekata Tony General Botom, near Crown and Sama or Libya dance Tiao. And no now ye de be good ponso or court when ye said, if you ever dance for a do, you better dance for a noon, you better dance for me, I dance for me, no, waiting crack away, never waiting crack away, never waiting crack away, never. Of the one say, wow. Now she said the be a quite great idea bob yes you say would no now when you say the work out now so send attorney general or deba e should the police for deba now of an out to now so wakatana now was no when you no na emfa I feel a honda a pemo na fe we gina yi eno na wo gina yi a wo beti so bi no dimrika o se makofo play bargaining thank you kwadu na ye dia bon te say me the other case o mu ni evidence dia o mu ni evidence na ye case management conference ni we CMC na wo hu ye kura wo mte obi ka say kutu say bama ye de be pem obo e wo court dem ma ofa e no edu ba bia enchia no wo ba won chia bi
ba won chia bi ama nkwansa na fa sa court case we so ato asoma ye sa ema mienu Shelley Smart Ashley Francisca Boache na Harriet Ansa ya yese enkwada mo hwe wo mo no ya no mo de eduro ama nkwada no o ma drag nkwada na ma nkwada na dana ho abra de nkwada na ja wo mo no sa asem na akosi san
ofa anope ni nya ne ntiese sa asem ne so e ba court eye okopiem e wo police headquarters ye wo court ni wo wa e fa ni dogs court e kan kwalante to asem sa e kan wari asem sa oba bia ye tete ne fa ahodie so nti e fa no one stop shop e court e na ye do mo kopiem e wo ho o sha mi video kitwe bi na video e tete ase na o do se mam ye nu bi ti akonya mi enim na video na nim na e mam ye nu bi ti akonya nim e mam ye nu no wo mo enye le sa akwa bi na bo wo
ba ko she black and ba ko so she has yellow Ghana we bisa na womunya omumu odu omo ma brane pa na womu pasa camera no kra womanim kra ba camera no mu wo mo anhu
aha ofawo ba ko se tuntum na ba ko ehye kokko bi ase kokko tuntum na wese ne tiase ansa na video no e ko nanim kra kakra tiase na e ma me na na tia konwa bi esu e wo kire ofa ma me no ye Francis Kabuachi e na Harriet eye ansa e ma me no ni esusu se omode aduro ama enkwala me no no fa ene ye do kan de won betie mu e wo district court eye district court a e ko sa e ho no court ho no we do mako be nwotwe ene e dia bom ni di kan e bi ene se ofa some nam kwete kwan so kan mu ti bom so mu say nuru ni be man kwala no nuru ni so ye dia koma FD ama FD kwa hwehwe mo mu chese na enye dura ense se enkwala no enum we do a ye dia bom ni nyina omo plead not guilty e chese no kwabia eni sa ensem ni na no enote mu afọ wo tena dwam ama mo bill 100,000 Ghana cedis 100,000 Ghana cedis say oh bia am fe nipa mienu enyina na chi nipa mienu ni nyina enso mo japade a ne bo na som 100,000 Ghana cedis japade no e je say japade a e ya paase na say gan landed property eno na ye wie ni sa pe omo krebe do abonti a police force ya sa achemo amachi omo de won ko am say yesam de mako circuit court omo say what the heck district court ama court na my do circuit court there and I want to charge him with causing harm and I'm say ya harm o hana and kwala obi emprai and kwala obi nanchai ni bi and kwala mo de yeko and e sign on call circuit court court premises wa into district court to circuit court and also your ya o te mo afọ no and o ma lawyer for akache court say dey do fact corona charges corona any appeal on Matando Mako. Now we say as a posting for mo person mo bo amabawa bi na mo bra wo mushi. Eno not the one person find the say they posting for mo nko fie na mo go mo mo fie because mo ntimi fa fact corona and go the straight court na mo san fa fact corona ema into of no court net to assembly national November bo so ne dey so edunu enson November 27 say yen fa Francis Kabuachi any Harriet Ansa enko say yama mo be o mi ti block conditions in the obekofi o ma mi ti dia ene so mo che aposi kwa kache akozi into ya e ma ba wa mi no e so o mo dia dru
yo ama ye dance papa ama bra ko ampofom je se wa bodwuma the court nsem nyina na wa chechiri mu e de
earlier this morning, the OSP as well has been in court and has amended his charge sheet against former NPA boss Mustafa Hamid. What's the update?
So yes, that case has been traveling for some time now. We know that the former NPA boss is accused of corruption, misapplying funds, stealing and all that. And this morning, we understand the OSP, like you said, has amended the charge sheet and we are looking forward to getting into the specifics of the details. But already, some members of the legal team of the Mustafa Hamid have been talking about this. They say that clearly shows that the OSP is not ready for trial. And he keeps amending the charge sheet, he keeps flip-flopping because he's simply not ready to take this matter to trial.
I'd say stakeholders that come to play when it comes to extradition. You want to reiterate that for me again because the network was quite bad.
Yes, thank you. So I said that it involves the country where the alleged criminal is located, which is in this case the U.S., and the country which is requesting for the alleged criminal to be brought to justice, in this case Ghana, and in between is Interpol, that is the International Police Commission, which, and as things stand now, the government of Ghana has issued an arrest, has asked Interpol to issue the red alert, which in itself does not constitute a warrant of arrest, but it's a notification that this person is alleged to have committed some offense and is wanted by that country, in which case Ghana. And for the process to really work, we have a situation where Ghana and US already has an extradition treaty between them. So it makes it easier. But all the same, it calls for the country which is requesting for the alleged criminal to complete all the processes. And it also has to make sure that the offense that the person is alleged to have committed is not considered a political offense. Secondly, the person the person shouldn't have already been tried for that offense. And there's also the question as to whether the offense that he's been alleged to have committed is an offense in the two countries, both countries as well. So when all these conditions are met, then the onus or the burden lies on the U.S. to initiate that process. And so at the end of the day, U.S. also has to agree. And because they are all parties to either Interpol agreement or convention, and also there's that extradition treaty between Ghana and the U.S., it should be easy and possible for U.S. then to arrest this person for him to be brought to Ghana for trial.
Thank you, Prof. But just what you've just said, it should be easier, knowing what you have just told us this afternoon. Ghana has a history of cooperating with the U.S. when it comes to extradition issues. This year alone, Ghana has extradited several Ghanaian nationals accused of internet fraud and maybe money laundering to face charges in the U.S. Should Ghana be more assertive to U.S. authorities given the history of our cooperation?
Well, that is a matter that the two governments may have to resolve, but I'm sure that at the end of the day, it should be possible for U.S. to cooperate to ensure that Mr. Ofori is brought to Ghana for trial. But yes, in terms of the legalities, Ghana can request for Mr. Ofori to be brought to Ghana, but sometimes there's some political issues involved, and if that is ironed out, then it is possible for him to be brought to Ghana for trial.
So, Prof, finally, in very simple terms, it's not very strange that in 9 months, the OSP has not been able to, or hasn't been successful with this. It's not strange.
It may sound strange, but it's also about how Ghana takes the matter seriously and how cooperation between the OSP and the Attorney General's office works. If they're able to do all the paperwork well, and they're able to establish that this is all the papers that should be sent to the U.S., the U.S. is satisfied with that, then it eases the process for him to be extradited to Ghana.
Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us this afternoon on the news. Now, Kweku, thank you for staying with me as well. So the special prosecutor says that he has closed investigations into the claims a wealthy businessman attempted to bribe some NPP MPs during the Ken Must Go saga. Tell me, why has the OSP closed the case and is not filing charges?
So we know that in 2022, when the NPP MPs, a number of them did hold the news conference at which they called on the president to sack the then finance minister, Ken Ofori. They said that a wealthy businessman, whose name was not mentioned, then come to them to try and bribe them to stop their calls. This matter began to generate public concern. The OSP investigated the matter. The OSP says, in fact, he has investigated this. He has confirmed that a certain wealthy businessman attempted to bribe the NPP MPs. However, and the NPA who led the NPP MPs in that effort has refused to mention the name of the specific businessman. The OSP says he's unable to file charges if the NPP MPs will not cooperate and will not give the name, and any charges he files without the name of this so-called wealthy businessman will fail.
Well, Kweku, just lastly, before I let you go,